Good morning and hello from Bangkok. Today we're going to be experiencing something which I have never done before, and we're going to be getting a 10-hour sleeper train from Bangkok all the way up north to Chiang Mai. Now, I've never slept on a train before, and I've definitely not been on a train for more than 2-3 hours. So this is going to be good fun, trying something completely different, and we'll have to see what we think of it. But we have woken up here in our simple stay hotel in Chatuchak, and we have just got ready. So we've had a shower, done our teeth, and we are just packing our bags at the moment. But before we pack this away, I thought it'd be good to show everyone, if they are thinking of going traveling around Thailand, is that we have one of these shower heads here. So it's a shower filter which screws onto the end of the hose, and then you screw on the original shower head from the hotel back onto this filter. So we've heard a lot of horror stories about people losing hair because of this water. And so if you're thinking of getting this shower head, I will leave a link for you in the description below. But we're just going to finish off packing now, and then we're going to head out to check out where the station is, so that later on when we get that sleeper train, we're not going to be late. So we've checked out and left our luggage in storage and have come out to see Bangkok for the first time in the sunlight. We were saying though, it doesn't feel super hot. I don't know if we've acclimatized to it a little bit by going to Singapore beforehand. We can see the sun for the first time ever, because in Singapore it was just cloudy the whole time, but it doesn't really feel as humid as Singapore did. It's a lot busier and a lot louder, and there's loads of bikes and cars everywhere compared to Singapore, but so far I'm liking the looks of it. We've been exploring around the hotel area, and then we looked in the food market, which was pretty cool. All the prices are so cheap too. And then we headed into a 7-Eleven to go and get some of that bug spray, which we've been after, and we have finally got it. And it came to, how much was it? £2.70 for both of them. So we got a big one that we can put on just before we go out, and we got a little one to put in our bum bags. So then when we're out, we can spray ourselves. I also noticed a Fanta in there too for just 50p, a bottle of Fanta. I can get used to this for sure. And we're now going to head over to a vegetarian restaurant, which Beth has managed to find near the hotel, where we can go and grab a little bit of lunch. Look at all those chickens. So we've managed to find the vegetarian and vegan restaurant. However, we're going to give it a miss, only because it doesn't look the most clean of places. And bearing in mind we're going on a 10-hour train in just a bit of time, we don't really want to be getting too ill, because otherwise I'll be sat on the toilet for the full 10 hours, and that would not be a good day. So instead we've opted to go to the train station right now, go and check that out, and hopefully there'll be some cleaner places there where we can grab some food. So we've gone for the not so cultural option, but it's to make sure that we're healthy on that train, because otherwise it'll be horrific. Sat down now for lunch. It's sort of like a little hawker in here, so there's loads of stalls all the way around, and then seating down in the centre. We popped off to a halal place, and we've got some chips and cheese tofu, so very Western food. Beth only got chips too because they didn't actually have any vegan food for her. We're also trying to find our gate number, so we've been looking around, found gate 4, which is literally just there, but we need to find gate 5 and we don't know where it is because it's hit the end of the building now. So we're going to have to try and find that after and go and ask the information desk. This came to 130 baht, which is about £3. So really, really reasonable food here. We need to go and grab a cold drink too at some point, and then we're going to be heading back to the hotel before going to get our stuff to get the train. So I've never actually had a cheese tofu before, so I've got no idea what this is going to taste like. It looks a bit like a chicken nugget, but we'll dip it in the ketchup. I'm praying it's not going to be too hot too, because it's literally just come out of the oil. Oh. That's actually quite nice. Very cheesy, and the cheese is sort of like melted in it, so when you bite into it, it oozes out, and then the tofu's just in the centre. I'd actually say that's fairly nice. It's not obviously the best meal I've had, but for lunch right now, I'll take it. Grabbed a grab taxi from the train station over to here, which is Chatuchak Weekend Market, which is absolutely massive. We didn't expect it to be this big, and it's got like a wide range of things from really modern stuff to really traditional stuff, and the shops, the difference in the shops is crazy. We're just going to walk through, take a look around, and then hopefully we'll find a food court for Beth to grab some snacks. Just walked into this shop and it is full of pet rabbits. How cute are these? I think we found the pet section because Beth is in heaven right now. Look at how cute these puppies are. There's a tiny one here. Watch out, Beth. Look at that one. Oh my God, how cute is that? There's just hundreds of little puppies. I mean, it's probably a little bit cruel in these cages, I'm not going to lie, but they are so cute. Oh my God, look at these huskies. Now, anyone who knows me, I've always wanted to have a husky. I don't know how I can't take one home today, to be honest. I think Beth and I will probably end up coming home with a pet dog. Oh my, look at those two. It's like a baby pug and a baby Tintin playing with each other. Look at them, they're so funny. Look at the size of this place. It's literally just full of pets, dogs, there's cats. We even saw some chinchillas, so there's a little cat place there. Look at that, the cute one playing with a little bit of a rope. Another load of puppy corgis. The Queen will be proud. That's a load of those Sphinx cats in here. So we've just dropped off into a cafe after I managed to finally drag Beth away from the puppies, and we've ordered a lime sorbet, a lemon sorbet, and a bottle of water, and it came to literally about £2, did you say, Beth? It's just over £2 maybe. It was 88 baht, which is incredible. Let's give them both a taste. Oh, these look like really good ones as well, like proper quality sorbets. And they taste incredible too. They're so refreshing, which is just what we need because it is so hot outside, especially compared to Singapore. So it turns out that they accidentally charged us for a Thai tea too. So instead of it being just over £2, it was actually only £1.27 for those three things, which is absolutely incredible. But we are now walking through the food part of the market. We've seen the restaurant that we want to go to in just a little bit before we head off onto the train. But it's really cool, Thailand. It's a lot less modern than Singapore, but there are way more traditional markets to go through, and it does feel a little bit more run down than Singapore. So like the street foods and stuff, I don't know whether to trust that or not, or whether it's not going to be very hygienic to eat street food. So we'll have to find out as the days go on, do a bit more research into where it's good and not good to eat. But I am really enjoying it so far just because of how different it is to Singapore. We just walked past some public toilets and I thought I was back in Glastonbury again. The smell was horrific. So we're now sat here in Cheap Shots restaurant, which the food actually looks incredibly tasty. So I've gone for the morning glory, which is basically fried veg, and Beth has gone for the pad tofu Thai, which looks incredible too. Noodles, Thai food, and what we did earlier was we headed our way through the Chatuchak shopping centre, which was actually really cool. It had loads of amazing clothes and other things like that. So we need to check in Chiang Mai whether they've got similar shopping centres where we can go and buy some cool Thai clothes. It's weird as well though, because we saw loads more dogs in one of the shops when I thought that was just going to be a market thing that was outside, but it was actually in all of the professional sort of shopping centres too. So they must do a lot of dog breeding here while people are in Thailand. I do think it is a little bit cruel on the dogs though, because the cages are really small, especially for some of the massive dogs. They were literally stood up, pushing their backs against the top of the cage. That is really sad to see. But we're going to give our food a try now. I wanted something really green, and I got something really green because I'm fed up of having loads of rice and meat. So let's give it a try. Boring, but literally just what I wanted. Finished our really expensive meal of £6.46, which is perfect, just what we like to hear, nice and cheap. But we are now heading back towards the hotel. So we've got quite a busy road to cross here by the looks of it, and the shopping centre is just ahead too, which is actually now lit up, which is pretty cool. I'll give you a quick glimpse of that. It is a really nice temperature here on an evening too, compared to Singapore, which is a bit more sweaty. I feel like here you could sit outside and enjoy like most European countries. But we are now heading back to the hotel to collect our stuff, do our teeth, and then change into something for the train. So we quickly got ready at the hotel and then hitched a taxi ride to the train station. So we're now finally boarding our overnight train from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. So we're back in the train station heading off to Chiang Mai from Bangkok. It's quite busy now, and there's a lot more English people that are getting this sleeper train than I've seen pretty much the whole time I've been travelling so far. The train must be pretty big too, because there's so many people around. But here is what the train is looking like. It's so loud right now. So we've just got on the train from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. We ended up paying £46 altogether, so £23 each, which is actually pretty reasonable, especially as we are paying for the overnight stay too. We ended up getting a grab taxi from the hotel to here, and then we've also bought a bottle of water. So overall that comes to around £3.30, so it's pretty much nothing that we spent today, which is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that because our budget is around £50 for Thailand, but it's actually pretty comfortable. The one thing though to note is that it doesn't have Wi-Fi, so that's could be a bit of an issue just for entertainment if you don't have any Wi-Fi, but they do have plug sockets, which is good, so you can charge any laptops, phones, other devices. And they've already provided us too with 2 small bottles of water, but I think it is worth getting the big one just in case you get a little bit too thirsty, because you don't know how often people are going to come down with the carriages. But I'll give you a quick tour of our area right now. The opposite side, so seat, and then storage is underneath the seats, which is good. You also have the table and the 2 water bottles and a little pouch there on the side. Later on, they'll bring the bed down, which is actually stored up there for now, and you can bring your curtains across too, which is good. But for now, we're going to chill out and relax. We came about half an hour early, and that was fine. You basically just got straight up onto the train, but it is a huge train. I'm not actually sure how many carts there are in total, but I'm looking forward to this, and especially when they bring down the beds, that'll be pretty cool to see. And the train is off, and it is good news, as there is no one over on that side or over there, so hopefully we can get a good night's sleep. So pretty quickly after setting off, one of the guards came down with the menus for both breakfast and dinner. So if you do want to order breakfast and dinner, you can do on the train. However, we've decided against it One, because there's not too much vegan stuff on that menu. Two, because we've obviously already had food, and we also saw that the reviews weren't great for the food, so we decided against having any food. Oh my god, we're by a train. I don't know if you can see that over there. We're just passing another train right now. That scared me. But yeah, so we've decided against having any foods because we've had tea already and we can get something when we arrive in Chiang Mai. So we set off at, what time is it? It's about 6:40 we set off, and we should be getting there for around 7 a.m. Thai time. So looking forward to getting to Chiang Mai because I've heard lots of good things about it. So they're just about to do the beds now, so we'll get a quick recording of them putting the beds down. So there are 3 classes which you can book. So we went for the second class in the end, but not out of choice as the first class was unfortunately sold out. If you do want to go first class, then you actually get your own cabin, but you do need to make sure that you book at least 90 days in advance, as we tried 90 days before and it was already sold out. The bed was quite hard, but Beth thought it was comfier than the Ibis bed in Singapore, and we were given 1 pillow and a blanket, and there is a privacy curtain which you can pull back. That was pretty cool. We're now currently sat in the bottom bunk, but I'm going to be on the top. Beth is going to be on the bottom, so I'm up there. Beth is going to be down here. But let's go and check out the toilets now and see what they're like. Hopefully no one's been yet. So the urinal wasn't the best, as you saw. It was really cramped in there and absolutely stank of piss. The other 2 were currently being used too, so I unfortunately couldn't check those ones out. However, the sinks that were just outside, you can use those, I'm guessing, to brush your teeth or do whatever you want with them. But do remember again that Thai water you shouldn't be using. So you can use the sink, spit out in there, but use probably bottled water to wash your toothbrush. We can head off to sleep soon, but before we do that, let's go and check out what the restaurant looks like. And that's the last thing that I can show you on this train, but I have to say it's pretty cool. It's really comfortable, very spacious too, and you don't actually have to have your bed up so early. You can go and find the person to bring it down a little bit later on. But we thought earlier we get it done, the sooner we can just sort of lie down and chill out on our laptop. So I've got a whisper now, as a lot of people are actually going to sleep. But we went and checked out the restaurant and it looked pretty nice, but it was very busy to begin with. So if you do want to go to that restaurant, I definitely recommend you going early on once the train starts moving. Then on the way back, one of the toilets were free, so I thought I'd take a look inside there. I mean, it's basic, it's tiny. It smells a little bit too, but if you get there nice and early, go to the loo, and you don't need it again, then that's perfect. And just use the sinks outside the toilet as well if you want to brush your teeth, because it's much easier to use those rather than standing in one of those toilets. But yeah, Beth's now gone up to the top bunk, so it is going to be time to have a quick nap, and then I'll let you know what it's like in the morning. I'll show you how big the cabin is too. The train is well air-conned, but if you do keep the curtain closed whilst you go to sleep, then it can get quite hot, so you'll need to leave a small gap somewhere in the curtain to let some aircon in. They don't turn the lights out, so it's fairly bright, so I'd recommend an eye mask for those who can't sleep with any light at all. Also some earplugs, as the train is quite noisy and we had some snoring in our carriage nearby. The train is quite bumpy in places, but there are barriers to stop you falling off of the bed, so thankfully I didn't have Beth falling on me in the night. But if I stretched out fully, I did manage to hit the bottom, and I'm 5'10" and 3/4. Not that I'm bitter about that at all, but maybe if you're a little bit taller than me, you may find it a little bit cramped, but they are wide enough to tuck your legs in. And then it came to morning, and the sunrise was pretty, with very pink skies, and the view was much greener than the urbanised city of Bangkok. So it's now 5:20 a.m. and the guys have literally just walked down the train saying everyone needs to wake up, as they're going to be putting the beds away and changing it back to chairs. Now 6:10 and it's pitch black outside. We're hoping that we might be able to see the sunrise in a few minutes, but I absolutely stink. I'm hot and sweaty too, which is not ideal, but it's about an hour to go. Everyone's having breakfast, but we're going to wait until we get to Chiang Mai to go and get some food. And we have arrived in the second place in Thailand, and that is Chiang Mai. So the train has just got into the station. It looks pretty cool. It looks a lot more cultural than Bangkok did. So the train was not delayed at all, which is perfect. I feel horrific though. I need to go and do my teeth, need to have a shower, and then I'll feel a lot better, but it worked a lot better than most train systems in the UK because you're very lucky to only have a 5-minute delay on any train. Just as we're walking down there, there's a horrible stench all of a sudden, and I'm not sure whether they're empty. I don't know what they're emptying, to be honest, but I don't know if you can see that under there. I hope that's not the toilet blocks, because otherwise that would be disgusting. I don't think it would be though. I think it's probably more of like the taps and stuff, but I have no idea. There was a horrible stench just then. But that is going to be it for today's vlog. So I do hope you all enjoyed and you loved seeing that 10-hour sleeper train action. I actually really enjoyed it. I had a really good day, and now we are off to explore Chiang Mai. But you'll have to wait until the next vlog to see all that, as we are now heading off towards our hotel. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.